भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad. And we have completed the study of the first two Mundakas. And we are on the study of the last Mundaka. Each Mundaka has 2 chapters. We are now on the first chapter of the third Mundaka. The third Mundaka tries to clarify our understanding at what is the concept of Brahman or the concept of Atman. And instead of keeping it in the plane of words, who am I? What am I? There is such an amount of misunderstanding about this concept of I am and who am I? What am I? This chapter will try to clarify the seeds of these misconceptions. He will try to put us on a rail so that if we follow that direction, we'll be able to understand correctly, properly, without any doubt or hesitancy, without any clouding our vision, what is known as I am, who am I, and what am I. This is the subject matter of this chapter. Thereby, he had taken 2 stands. The Rishi Angirasa has taken 2 stands. What are those? One is, he very distinctly tries, as far as words go, to define what is that state known as Atma Jnana, understanding or experiencing my true original nature, or Brahma Jnana, to identify the unity between what I know as I am and what is the essence of the universe. He tries to highlight that as far as possible with words. And then he says how you and me, who really aspire to reach that goal, what should be the technique, what should be the procedure, what should be the methodology that we must hold on to, put it into practice in our day-to-day life, which will help us to reach that goal. 2 things together. Description of the goal. In describing that, he mentions what happens to you as you are today, to what will happen to you when you reach there. And what are the disciplines that I must follow to reach that goal. 2 very concrete, tangible, practical commonsensical standpoint. This is what the first chapter of the third Mundaka deals with. We have studied first five shlokas. We have studied. And the fifth shloka, we did not complete it much, but we will do so today. The first four shlokas, the two verses, he starts with a comparison. A huge tree, two birds of the same plumage, of same lineage, identical in all respects. One bird is in the lower bushes, lower branches, and tasting varieties of fruits right from a bud to a ripe fruit, and he's making faces and grimaces according to the taste that he is experiencing by tasting those foods, interacting with those fruits. And the second bird, he has gone through all this, and he has climbed up, and right at the top branch, almost like a twig, he is sitting there, swinging in the beautiful breeze and looking the panorama of the world, enjoying the landscape and the sight without getting involved by experiencing the fruits of life. We have studied it very well, the first two shlokas. What does it mean? The suggestion is the tree is like this body. It is exemplifying the body. In this body, of the same characteristic, same plumage, we see there are two entities. One, which is interacting with the world and feeling sometimes very happy, sometimes unhappy, sometimes miserable, sometimes bitter, sometimes sweet. We keep on moving from one type of experience to the other, and they are all diagonally opposite. Pleasure, pain, ecstasy, agony, happiness, sadness. And the other bird who lives in this body, and he is absolutely unattached, he is looking at this world and enjoying the awareness of the presence of the divine every moment of his life. He has totally detached himself from the world and worldly attachments, and he is totally poised in the majesty, the excellence of his own being. This is how the chapter starts. Good enough? The chapter starts. Now please tell me, partly philosophically, partly practically, commonsensically, what is that state? So the third shloka describes that state as far as correctly as possible, as words by its suggestive meaning can convey it to you. Yada, as and when, Pashya, an experiencer, Pashyate Rukma Varnam, the experiencer experiences, as and when an experiencer. Who is the experiencer? You, me, and everybody. We are experiencing, good, bad, or indifferent. And sometimes, as an eternal observer a witness, Shakshi Swarup, when I am not at all involved. I only see and enjoy. What do I see? Awareness of presence of the divine and nothing but the divine. So what you see is also being described so that you don't have your own woolly-headed ideas to see things and say it is spiritual. Nothing doing. What do you see? The seeing is visual. Experiencing is a net result of your interaction. I see you, and when I say I see you, I am experiencing your presence in my front. I am experiencing. Seeing is a procedure, ends up in generating experience. He says that I have told you about a bird who is not at all involved. He is totally Vita Shokaha and he is enjoying this world. I have told you that. What is that when you come to that situation? The third shloka had described that. Jada, as and when, Pashyaha, the experiencer, Pashyati, experiences, Rukma Varnam, Kartaram, Isham, Purusham, Brahmajonim. Each word has a suggestion. What does he experience? Rukma Varnam. It is the luster of a polished, shining gold. You don't see the piece of gold, you see the shine, which has no form, but luminosity, effulgence. You cannot contain the infinite into a finite form. It spills over. That it is not contained or finitized in space is being mentioned here. Rukma Barnam, of golden hue. What is that golden hue? Highly shined, polished piece of gold. Light is elsewhere, and it is reflecting this piece of gold in such a manner you don't see the gold, but you see its luster, its magnificence, its majesty. When you see that luster of the presence of the divine in your lifetime. And who is he? Kartaram, Isham. He is the Lord God of the universe. He now appears to you not in a human form, but a form of luster of awareness. I am aware. Effulgence and luster is compared with my capacity to be aware. I am aware I am. I do not know who am I, what am I, but I am aware I am. Awareness is the luster part of it. And when I grow beyond the limitations of body-mind concept, then what do I feel? Kartaram, the supreme being, the ultimate doer, the executor, the creator, the preserver, the destroyer of this cosmos. Kartaram Isham Brahmajonim. He is the root cause of the concept of Brahman. Concept. He is the cause of this concept. He is what it is. Purusham. That is the catch. Where do I find him? You say he is all permeating. He is all pervasive, omnipresence. But I have my limited understanding. I can't see a thing without any limitation. So where do I see him? Purusham, he who resides in you. Puri Shayanat Purnatvad Bha Purusha. That is the definition of the word Purusha. One who resides in this Puri, in this city. Who resides in this city? I am. I am aware. I am because of all the faculties that I have. Reasonability, rationality, emotionality, ingenuity, willpower, cognition, volition, emotion, will. With those four faculties, I am aware, I am. So that Kartaram, that Isham, that Brahmajonim has to be experienced within myself. That is, as a normal, ordinary human being, I am aware I am. Unfortunately, my amness is now indistinguishably mixed up with my name, my form, my heritage, lineage, and with whatever I am attached to. I am Sridharananda. My parents' name are this. I belong to them. This is my place of birth, the body. Everything rotates around the body. But the mind can, with proper discipline, outgrow the limitations of this body consciousness. I am. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the prana. I am not the vijnana. I am not even the Anandamaya. I am what I am. I can experience it, but I can't describe it. When a person has such a type of experience, tatha, at that time, this pursuer of knowledge, vidwan, the pursuer of this knowledge, punnapape vidhuyaha, he is absolutely washed clean of vice and virtue. He is no more attached. He is absolutely pure fire, pure effulgence, pure awareness. That awareness is not attached with anything of the world. Awareness of the majesty, of the magnificence of his own true original nature. Tatha vidyan punnapape vidhuya. He is totally washed clean of whatever you can conceive as vice or virtue. Both of them. He throws it away. Niranjanam paramam samyam upaiti. Niranjanam, without any taint. Paramam, sublime, samyam, equanimity, serenity, tranquility obtains. He gradually bees and become one with that. The process of evolution of being and becoming. He becomes that, one with that. Being and becoming. Upa eti. He bees and becomes. He follows the process of normal evolution and identifying himself as a mortal human. He outgrows that and experiences his or her true original nature. That is what the state of the other bird who sits at the top of the twig of the branch, enjoys the swing of the breeze and looks over the whole world without any attachment. Avichakashiti. He is absolutely unattached. The other one, Pippala Sadhu Atti. He is keep on picking at various stages of fruit, from bitter to the luscious sweetness. All through. And he is an eternal witness to the panorama of this world's view. How? Seeing the divine everywhere. This is how the third shloka develops. Now the fourth shloka tells you something which is absolutely alarming. Alarming because we are not studying with robust common sense. Nirvana Mukti or Jada Pashyata Pashyate Rukma Varnam. Jada Pashya Pashyate Rukma Varnam. When the experiencer experiences that beautiful, majestic, magnificent glow of polished gold, all within himself as his true original nature. Immediately, like a stupid ass, we get loose of our common sense. We lose our common sense and we hurriedly come into a conclusion. What happens? I am absolutely inanimate. I don't respond to anything. That is, this living, vibrant, throbbing, living creature, an entity, a jiva, an individual, he thinks mukti or jnana or experiencing is converting this living animate object into an inanimate object like a chair, a piece of log, a piece of wood, or a piece of granite, or a pot of clay. That's what Nirvana Mukti is. We don't allow us to think commonsensically, what does it mean? The fourth shloka tells you without any hesitancy, without any trace of doubt that may raise in you, tells you what happens to a realized soul who has realized it through a perfect process, an integrated, complete process, not a segmental, tangential process. Let me develop it because this is the cream and the essence of this Upanishad here. There's shloka number 3 and shloka number 4, and you'll have shloka others later on. I will highlight them to you. Now what happens is, I have read the Vedanta philosophy, and I am told that you have to get yourself away from this world. You have to get away from this world. Because I am physically aware, so I run away from the society. I go to a hill and a forest, find out a livable cave, and I settle down there. And jnanat eva mukti. It is knowledge that leads you to this experience. So, my way of life is, the world does not exist, I don't exist, she only exists. And I am concentrating on Satchidananda Swarupatma or Nitya Suddha Buddha Swarupa Brahma. And I keep on meditating. All other aspects of my personality is being starved and they wither away. Accepting that rationality, everything is unreal. This is real. And I practice this, say, for 40, 45, 50 years. And because of that concentrative attitude of your mind, you do experience that. But your experiencing is conditioned by the path that you have followed. It will appear to you according to the path you are following. Jana sadhana tana siddhi. The way you are practicing your spiritual disciplines, your realization will be cut according to that size, that shape, what you are practicing. So, Jnana Marga person, he is a realized soul, but the first Brahmavid who comes to the village, unresponsive to everything. And after 3 nights, he walks away. Not even a courtesy of thanks. It's all Maya, all Mithya. That is how he has trained himself. The first specimen. The second specimen, a little responsive. So, he has a courtesy to ask the lady who feeds them, who are you, what is your family like, etc., etc. Are you well off by God's grace? But he doesn't involve beyond that. Basic human courtesies. And he goes. And the third one is a realized soul. But he has realized it through, as a karma yogi, converting his life and his whole personality to interact and involve with the awareness of presence of the divine through thick and thin of his life. So he's ever alert. Dhyana yogi, he meditates and he practices the principles of meditation in his day-to-day life as a karma yogi. Dhyana yoga and karma yoga integrates his personality. He's a wholesome personality with his cognition, with his volition, with his emotion, with his will, with his rationality, emotionality, ingenuity and willpower. He's developing his personality in an integrated, total manner. Dhyana yoga is his anchor and karma yoga is putting the principles of Dhyana Yoga into his day-to-day life. Seeing God everywhere, living in God, living with God, seeing God everywhere, and that too by grace of God. Nothing else but God in his life. That is sadhana. And he sees Brahman not only in meditation, wide open eyes walking on this earth. He sees through the name, through the form, through all that is there, but he sees the flicker of that shine of Atman everywhere. Here, 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 everywhere. He is a third person. And living in that hut, he hears a weep and a wail. He runs to help. Why? God in that form is in agony. That's why it's weeping and wailing. Let me see if I can serve him. He goes there, sees a widow's only son, died of bite of a snake, and he sits there, comforts everybody by his presence, by his wisdom, by his personality, integrated personality. That agony of the mother is reflecting a chord here. And he feels. The fourth shloka gives you an example of such a realized soul and tells him of all the types of Brahmavits, knowers of self that you see in this world. This type of a knower of self is the best of the lot. And he doesn't hesitate. He proclaims to the world, Esha Brahmavidam Barishtaha. He is the best of the lot of the Brahmavidas. What does it mean? Use your common sense. All three of them are Brahmavits. Look at them socially. The third knows how to live in God by living with God's children, seeing God in them and serving them. What could be a better specimen of the outcome of spiritual wisdom? End result of spiritual wisdom. But don't undermine the others. A saint sitting in a cave, far, far away from this maddening crowd, he is meditating for the welfare of the humankind. He is serving the society. And to whom is he serving? People in the society who have raised their level of awareness to that so that they vibe well with that vibration. They are only served, not me or you, because we have not tuned ourselves to that. Whereas this Brahmagyani brings himself down to the level of an ordinary being. He behaves like an ordinary human, but he's an extraordinary human because his behavior pattern rotates around the awareness of presence of God. So dear, the fourth shloka has to be read very, very, very correctly, washing yourself out of all your previous foolish mental fixations. Open and listen what he says. Prana hi esha sarvabhutair vibhati. He sees the cosmic force in this world prana, the cosmic energy which is happening in the world. He sees that energy as a manifestation of the divine. That means with wide open eyes, with wide open receptive perceptions, he moves around and he sees that divine everywhere. Atmagya Purusha, Brahmaka Purusha. Sa bhavate natibadi. Now, atibadi. Atibadi means we are talking together and I want to overrule you, override you, either by snubbing you or by being rational, proving you on the wrong. I want to win over you. Atibadi. Sarvan anyan atitya badati iti adibadi. Who is an atibadi? Who wants to be above all others in argumentation. He is a winner, always a winner. But he sees himself everywhere. Winning and losing causes two different elements. You and me. Two separate entities. Their winning and losing comes in. When I see myself everywhere, all I see is different opinions. But the person from whom that opinion is generating is I am. So how can I overtalk to others, overreach others, outspeak others? Prano hi esha sarvabhutair vibhati vijanan. He knows I, as a life force, I am everywhere in this world. Therefore, I am humble, I am modest. Look at Sri Ramakrishna. He was always humble with his folded hands. Why? He wanted to set an example. What should be the behavior pattern of a realized soul? He should be humble, he should be modest, because he finds himself everywhere. I'll give you an example, an incident, not an example as an incident in Sri Ramakrishna's life after he passed away. Girish Ghosh, as you all know him, was a great realizer. He had to realize it by Guru Maharaj's grace. One day, after Guru Maharaj's passing away, in Baranagar Mutt, when the children are all deeply involved in misery and sadness and poverty, orphaned as it were by Sri Ramakrishna's absence, Girish Babu used to bring food, Girish Babu used to give them company, cheer them up. One day he asks them, the boys, the direct disciples later on, Rama, Sri Rama, the avatar, he conquered the world with his Dhanushbana, bow and arrow. Sri Krishna conquered the whole world with his Sudarshana Chakra. You say Ramakrishna, an avatar, what was his weapon? That he will win over the whole world? Everybody was dumbstruck. Ramakrishna never used any weapon. And we call him avatar. He must have a weapon. They looked at Girish Babu. What weapon did he have? And Girish Babu, with his folded hand, bowing down his head, imitating how Sri Ramakrishna used to welcome everybody, even a child. He imitated that. And he said, this is his weapon. humility and modesty and respect to all, because he saw her everywhere. Bhavatarini Kali. Prana hi esha sarvabhutair vibhati bijanan. Experiencing that full well, such a brahmagya atibadi na bhavati. He doesn't want to be a winner. He lives in God, he lives God, he lives for the sake of serving God's children, and he knows that is because of God's blessings on him. Nothing but God in his life. And then the last two shlokas, Sa Atma Kriya, Atmarati Kriyaban. 3 words. Kriya is a play. Rati is sitting all by yourself. You are ruminating on a past happy memory. That is Rati. That is Kriya. And Kriyaban. Full of activity. Kriya is activity. Such a soul, who is a realized soul, who plays. What is a play? When you read certain tools and tackles to play. Football, hockey, cricket, tennis, you need tools and tackles. You play. He sees God everywhere and he plays with God. When he is alone, sitting and meditating, he is consumed in awareness of God. And when he moves in the society, he sets an example by his behavior pattern, how one should live. Esha, such a person, amongst all the Brahmavits, all types of Brahmavits, this integrated personality who has practiced his sadhana with this attitude, and that has become his spontaneous naturalness. Esha Brahmavidam Varishtaha, superlative. To conclude, dear, this is what compelled Swami Vivekananda to use the word avatara varishta. Sri Ramakrishnaya Nama. People hounded him at that time, called him names, that you are becoming one of those Vaishnava Babajis, you are skyrocketing your guru. He is the best. Do you mean to say he's better than Rama? Do you mean to say he's better than Krishna? Do you mean to say he's better than Buddha Shankara? What is all this madness? Your respect for your guru, you have lost your sense of propriety. Even some of the Guru Bhais did question him. This is what he meant. Look at Sri Ramakrishna's behavior pattern after he finished his sadhana. Do you find any trace of pride in him? How could you be proud? He sees himself, and to set an example to Dvaita Bhava, for him Dvaita and Advaita meant nothing, no distinction. He saw his mother, Bhavatarini Kali, everywhere. Respectful to the mother all the time, to everyone. Esha Brahmavidam Varishta. That was his spiritual practice. And that practice saturated his whole being. No more tangential, no more segmental. So we have studied these 4 very thoroughly, and I cannot prevent myself from being repetitive because this is the crux of this Upanishad. Who is Brahmavidam Varishta? What does it mean? The quantum of experience of being a Brahmavid, knower of the self, that is not percentage-wise. Either you are a Brahmagya or you are not. There is no percentage there. I am 30% Brahmagya. No. Either yes or no. If it is yes, what is your subsequent life's behavior pattern? There lies the catch. If you look through a microscope and analyze Sri Ramakrishna's life after his sadhak bhava, when he became a guru, though he could not stand that word, the whole world ran after him. How did he behave? Atma Kriya, Atma Rati, Kriyabha. Because of that behavior pattern, because of his quantum of knowledge and the total behavior pattern, he is the best specimen. So Swamiji did not use that word because of euphoria of his guru. He was compelled to use that word because he fitted with this description. Now, dears, let us stop. Let us move into the fifth. Fifth shloka is meant for us. We have been taken to a very high plane in these 4 shlokas. But we remain where we are. How do we reach there? I am a pragmatic person. I am a practical person. You have the author of this Upanishad, Maharishi Angirasha. You have lifted me high to that plane by all this talk and arguments. Good enough. I am where I am. I don't want to deceive myself. How do I start? Sahakari sadhanani. What is sahakari sadhanani? Those adjuncts, those things that you need to perform as a kindergarten class so that you can reach the topmost research scholarship. These are all ancillary requirements to start your spiritual life. What are those? Satyena labhya tapasa hi esha atma samyak jnanena brahmacharyena nityam. 4. Nityam is something else. What does he say? Satyena labhya. It is to be attained, achieved. Labhya means that which is to be attained, achieved, that which I want to attain and achieve. How do I achieve? Be truthful. Don't develop self-deception within yourself. Don't be a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One face in the morning, in the daytime, one evil face at night time. No. Satya is absolutely necessary. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, in Kali Yuga, the only tapasya that you need is to be truthful to yourself, truthful to God, and truthful to the society. Be truthful. You will achieve that goal if you are truthful. Satyena labhya. Tapasa. Tapasya is the unbending, unyielding effort, unbending, unyielding, constant, forceful effort. That is tapasya. That means you should not rest on your horse till you reach the goal. Satyena labhya, tapasa labhya. You'll reach that goal by satya, by tapasya. Samyak jnana. Rock solid, crystal clear, intellectual conviction. This is my goal of life, no compromise. Sharir patan ba mantre sadhan. Either my body falls off, but I'm not going to deviate from the vows of my life. Samyak jnana. I am the divine, I am the absolute, I am the Atman and the Brahman. That is what I must experience. No doubt, no hesitancy. Doubting and hesitancy erodes your motivation. Therefore, sannagyanena labhya. It is achievable by that. And some brahmacharjena nityam. Nityam is the word which is madhyadvikanaya. One wall, make a hole, put a light there. One light will illuminate this hall, will illuminate the other hall. Nityam and labhya, these two words are like madhyadvika. It will be attached to every. That is, satyena labhya, nityam satyena labhya, nityam tapasa labhya, nityam samyak jnanena labhya, nityam brahmacharyena labhya. The word nityam and labhya should be attached to all these four disciplines. Good enough, sir. Where do I find him? Antasharire Jyotirmaya hi shubhra jam pashati jataya vikshina dosha. Where do I find him? Where do I see him? First, see him within yourself. Who am I? What am I? It is effulgence. Effulgence is awareness, knowledge generated by experiencing, not by rationality. Knowledge is a word which is used both ways in English. That is why in Sanskrit, one is jnanam, the other is anubhuti. Experiencing and knowing. He says, if you follow these four disciplines, satya, that is jatha jata kathanam, tapasya, samyak jnana, and brahmacharya, management of your energy from all points of view. Once you do so continuously, without any let, without any hindrance, what happens? You become kshina dosha. You are wiping out the dirt which is covering up the mirror. Kshina. It is withering away all the faults and failures and frolics and foibles and all that you are getting attached to in this world. They lose their grip on you because your total grip continuously is on these four disciplines. You see that absolute reality within yourself. Jataya, Shina Desha, anta sharire pashyati. He sees it within himself. That means he has an answer to the perennial question, who am I? What am I? This is what it is. So he now tells you what are the ancillary disciplines that you should follow right now and follow it all through your life till you reach that goal. And when you reach that goal, this I am becomes one with He is. I am He is in me, I am in Him. These are the methodologies in daily practice. Now he will, Jataya Kshina Dosha. He has used the word Jati. Jati is a sannyasi. Why did he use the word Jati here? What for? The word Jati is used here as a part-timer and a whole-timer. That is the difference. Why? If you are a grihastha, you are bound by certain vows of life. You have accepted it after your brahmacharya avastha. After you have completed your studies up to the 16th year, you become grihastha up to the 50th year. After that 50th year, when your children are on their own, you walk out on the society. Go to the village, go to the forest, away from it all. And all your duties are now to be converted into mental worship, upasana. And then you take sannyasa. You have completed your rituals. Now you are the sannyasa. He is saying, after you have completed all that, you become a sannyasi, and then this is how you practice and reach your goal. That is why he has used the word jataya here. But, there's a huge but. There were realized souls in point of history, in Janaka, in Ashaghosha and others, Ashapati and other king, emperors who were realized souls, but they were emperors. What does it mean? That your past life's activities come handy for you. Jad ahareva virajet, tat ahareva prabrajit. What does it mean? The very moment your past karmas induce you to leave everything behind and be one with God, please don't miss that opportunity. Walk out on your family. Walk out on your family. You are a sannyasi without fulfilling the three different institutions. After brahmacharya, during grihastha, you can walk out, provided you are honest, you are truthful, and you are samyak jnana. Well, dear, we will go on to the 6th shloka. It carries on for a while, and then again he will describe the type of experiences that you might have if you succeed in your endeavor. Thank you, dears. Thank you. We'll meet again next time and carry on with this study. Thank you, dears. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.